To turn to Exodus chapter 13, around about verse 17. We finished all the plagues. You remember the last plague? He ended up he told him to leave. That last plague, he had enough. Right? We often say deaf angels stop by. Deaf angels stop by. And so deaf angels stopped by, and the blood over the doorposts. We remember that. And so after that, Pharaoh said, get out of here, right? He met all the conditions. Good evening, everyone that's coming in. I'd like to greet you by name, but if I do that, I'm going to get off track. But just know we're better because you're in the room, okay? But I got to greet Sister Emily because she's a little different. Sister Emily, good evening. How are you? All right, good evening. Good evening. All right. So let's continue. So let's look at 17. Let's look at 17. Are we there? Exodus chapter 13, verse 17. Exodus chapter 13, verse 17. And Exodus really means to leave, to escape, right? So when Pharaoh let the people go, he didn't really let them go. He had to let them go. I mean, that's a play on words, but I'll keep going. When Pharaoh let the people go, God did not lead them on the road through the Philistine country. You may hear somebody say, I say Philistine. You may hear different. Depends on who pronounces that same word, right? So he didn't lead them through that, and we do know the Philistines had a giant by the name of who? Goliath. So they were some fighting folk, right? You know, you got some families that's known to fight. You know, growing up, them Johnsons, them so-and-sos, right? You just like, boy, them some aggressive folk, right? Well, the Philistines were known for battle. So God did not lead them through that way, right? So the text says, when Pharaoh let the people go, it says God did not lead them on the road through Philistine country, though that was shorter, right? I often ask myself, now why did you, Sister Diane, why didn't God lead them the quickest way? Right? The quickest way, right? You know, we always want a shortcut, right? If you start out, right, and God is leading, always remember that. God is leading. Why didn't God lead them that way, right? For God said, if they face war, they might change their minds. So God already knew, Minister Loretta, they wasn't prepared to go through that, right? How would God know that? Because God knows. God knows, right? God knows exactly what we can handle, right? We often say God won't put more on us than we can bear, right? God knows what we can handle, and so after we find out later on, I'm not going to take us down the road, but God was true to it because the text says that God said that he would not take them through that way because they may change their mind. I was sharing with them on prayer line this morning that oftentimes it's easy for people to want to go backwards. Fear and what's familiar, even if it was pain. You know, and you think about that. Sometimes now we've gotten older, but we say that is so crazy. But there are some people that would rather go back to pain than deal with something that's unfamiliar. Because sometimes we get conditioned and we get used to whatever we've gone through and we can tolerate it. So it's easy for us to say, well, I know them devils. I know my pain. I know, and we will make a concession or settle and go backwards instead of going forward. So God says, I didn't want them to go to deal with that because they would have changed their minds, right, and returned to Egypt. Now, you remember they were being beaten. They were being oppressed, so much so to where they cried out. That's how Moses got there, right? So God says now they're ready to leave, but he says, I'm not going to take them the short way. I'm going to take them the long way. Now, we know the way they was going didn't really take 40 years. They made it take that long. Right? It's just, so I already know the route that he was taking them on, it wasn't going to take as long as it took. But because of some behavior and actions, it lasted longer than it should have. Can I put a pin right there and share with us tonight? There are some things in our life, if we're not careful, we will prolong our journey. We will prolong our journey. There are some things in life, if we don't deal with it properly, we will keep going around and around, right? And we will never get there. We wonder, God, how long I'm going to get there, right? Well, because we're not aligning with God, we make our trip longer, right? So let's just I wanted to get that all out so we can kind of keep pressing. So it says that they would change their minds and return back to Egypt. Okay, next verse. So God led the people around by the desert road toward the Red Sea. We do realize that God knew what was going to happen, right? He led them by the Red Sea, knowing that the Red Sea was going to bring opportunities, right? Again, every obstacle, a roadblock to us is not to God, right? So he led them by way toward Red Sea. The Israelites went up out of Egypt ready for battle. Now, they were ready for battle, but in actuality, they really wasn't ready for battle, right? Meaning there are some things in their life that they had not yet experienced. So when you go through a lot of things in life, sometimes we think we're ready, but may not be. But the text says they was ready for battle. Meaning they had swords, they had everything else. But what they was getting ready to experience now was going to be really challenging, right? Really challenging. Next verse. Moses took the bones of Joseph with him. We remember Joseph because this started out as family problems. Y'all remember that? You remember that? All that talk Joseph had with his sons, and there go Joseph again. We pick him back up, right? Here's Joseph. Right? Remember Joseph says there was a Pharaoh that was raised that knew not Joseph. Right? So now Joseph says, God will surely come for you. You remember that? Yes, sir. He says, and when he does, don't forget my bones. So he knew God was coming, and there's a promise, and God has fulfilled it. So they got Joseph with them. So my bones took. Why was Joseph want to go with him? It's just his bones. I'm not trying to trick nobody. I'm just throwing it out. Anybody got any thoughts on that? Anybody? Right? It's the whole process of being buried with your fathers, your forefathers, and your family, where we were all. That's why we even do that today. Some of us. Somebody may pass in another city in Chicago, but if all their ancestors in Texas, right, they'll bring their family back to be buried together. And you don't want to be buried, and the Egyptians did it differently too, right? They did things differently, but Joseph wanted to be buried. Carry me with you all when God comes, right? Carry me with you. So Joseph is literally going with him. You got something, Sister Mary Jo?
Yes, get to his dad, Jacob said, they took him back.
Yes.
They took him back. So, and he had bought land for all of them. So his dad was there.
Yeah. So all of this is important. So he says, Moses took the bones of Joseph with him because Joseph had made the Israelites swear an oath. And what was that like? Don't y'all leave me here. When God comes for y'all, don't leave me here. You got some First Lady?
And also, I believe it was a way of being able to participate in the promise
Yes.
that
Yes.
God had mentioned that his family would have.
Yeah.
So you may not be seeing it in the, in the moment,
Right.
or in the flesh, but you're still a part of the promise that God made to the family.
Oh,
The other thing is, if I can back up just a second, it said that God said God didn't want to take them the shortest route.
Right.
Right there in that passage, that says to me that God is considerate of the things that he allows us to go through.
That's a good spot. Yeah.
He had consideration for the fact that they just might not be strong enough to do this right now, and
Yeah.
they might want to turn around and go back. Just knowing that God considers how I feel
Yeah.
when
That's
he's
good.
making decisions for my life.
That's good. Thank you for that. There's Sister Mary Jo want the mic. Y'all just hold it. Yeah, y'all just hold it. Yeah, y'all hold it. But that's key, right? It's like sometimes when I see the enemy beating some people down, my prayer is that God, will you just give them enough time to recover, right? Hold the enemy's hand, right? To give people a chance. Because sometimes when people are being just hit so much, right? It's like when they try to get up, the enemy is coming, and we know the analogy that if a boxer has you hurt, right, they're trained to keep at you, right, until they knock you out. So literally, my prayer has been for people that, God, just cover them, give them some level of peace of mind, just so they can recover, so they can go forward. Because as First Lady says, that God is really was considerate, because if they may not have been ready to handle that, because that's what God said. But Joseph swore an oath. Listen, if when God comes, God will come and get you. Promise that you'll take my bones, right? So they're leaving. They got Joseph's bones. Everybody's ready to go. Okay. Next verse. He had said, God will surely come to your aid, and then you must carry my bones up with you from this place. He made them swear, right? Made them swear. And again, that swear was a important opportunity for them to reconnect with God's promise. God will when God has a promise, he'll fulfill it.
Amen.
Right? When people swore an oath in, they kept their word, right? Nowadays, people say, oh, I swear, right? You're just like, yeah, you ain't going to do it, right? And so, but again, oath was made. They kept his bones, and so that was critical, okay? I think this next chapter, am I correct? Oh, one more, okay. After leaving Shechem, they camped at Etham on the edge of the desert. So right where, and if I had some time, I would have brought y'all an image of where they were. So right at the edge, you have the Red Sea is within distance. So they've gone a little ways. Now, mind you, it's believed to be over 1 million people that's traveling, right? It started, who did it start with? Y'all remember?
The 70.
I'm so, yeah, started with the family. You remember that family, right? Sons and all of that, and now they're leaving. But remember, there were some other people that's with them as well. But all together, we're looking at there are some scholars believe over 1 million people that's leaving. Okay, all right. Let's get it to chapter. Chapter 20. One more verse. Okay. By day, the Lord went ahead of them in a pillar of cloud to guide them. Now, get this. By day, God has a cloud, a pillar of cloud to guide them. Right? That's why some of our old songs say, will you guide me? Right? That's where a lot of our old songs would come from, right? it comes from Scripture, right? So some of those, right? So God will had a pillar of cloud, and again, there is belief that was an angel, a being, guiding them by cloud, right? So this is a force with them. So you can see a cloud in the day. So God gave them the ability to see a cloud leading them in the day, right? And then a pillar of fire to give them, because you can't see a cloud at night. But then God turned this cloud into a pillar of fire. You can see a fire at night. So he's giving them GPS, an angel before them in the day, and then a fire, an angel of fire, right, at night. That's a powerful piece, right? They're getting when the president of the United States moved, there is a what do they call it, motorcade. Mm-hmm. You have motorcade, and you have decar vehicles. So you have all of this going forward. It's a motorcade because of who's with them. God gave them a spiritual motorcade. He has an angel before him, right? A cloud and a pillar of fire. Go ahead.
And Bishop, think how those people, as they watched the cloud, which was normal, but a pillar of fire,
Yeah.
that was not normal.
Yes.
They had to know that God was with them. I know I would have been, oh,
Yeah.
wow. A
Yeah.
pillar of fire, just God. They knew
Yeah.
God was with them.
Yeah, and that's a, you're right, Sister Mary Jo. You can look at that and you can say, okay, we've seen the cloud, but have you seen a cloud of fire, a pillar of fire, right? That's a powerful piece. But again, what does it mean? It means God's presence.
Yes.
And I'm gonna harp on that one more time, because sometimes in life we forget God's presence is with us.
Yes.
Like, God can do some amazing things, and we'll go 2 days and we'll forget,
Yeah.
right? It's like, it's like Elijah. You remember Elijah the prophet on Mount Carmel? God rained down fire. Powerful display of God's power. And then Jezebel said, I'm going to get you. And then he forgot about God's presence, right? So I'm saying all of that because you're going to see sometimes we could act like that too. God's presence is with them, and we're going to see sometimes we let fear overcome our belief of God's presence. We're good? Okay? All right, next verse. Neither the pillar of cloud by day nor the pillar of fire by night left its place from being in front of the people. Right? You slow down. I mean, this messes me. You slow down, it slow down. You move, the angel of God moves. I mean, it's like, come this way. I mean, how much more assurance should we have to know God is leading my way? Right? He's a light unto my path, right? It's and this is really, I'm hoping this encourages us to the point to where we may not be on this road to the Red Sea, but you on your own road. Right? You on your own road. You and I got to know without a shadow of doubt that God says, I will never leave you or forsake you. I'll never leave you. God's not a man that he shall lie. Right? So it's like sometimes, right, the doctor call. Right? It's some of us, and years ago I remember, and First Lady, she doesn't like to be closed in. What's those machines? MRI. Right? When they close you in and all of that, right? I remember years ago I got one done and I was just like, man, I don't like what this, I'm finna get closed up, right? And then all of a sudden, right, I just had to say, God, give me peace. I had to really begin to, begin to kind of speak that and kind of, really invoke his presence. Right? When fear come over us, right, we have to invoke his presence, right? And begin to speak his word back over our life. And that's just a MRI, right? Somebody said that's a small thing, but hey, go ahead.
Bishop, I have to tell you about me in an MRI. I cannot do it. And before I got ready to do it, I was quoting all kind of scriptures. God has not given me the spirit of fear. I can do all things. Okay, I even sit down on the machine, but when they started rolling me in there too, I said,
Yeah.
Jesus, I'm sorry, but we didn't win this one. I can't do it, and I still haven't done it.
Yeah, it does take, and we'll all have our level of fear, whatever those discomforts or whatever that may be. You got something first? You good? Okay. So neither the pillar of cloud by day nor the pillar of fire by night left its place in front of the people. Right? Visually see that. Visually see that. Never left its place. Okay? All right. 14. Chapter 14. Then the Lord said to Moses, right? I said this Sunday, God doesn't call a crowd, he called an individual. God's not talking to the people. He's talking to Moses. Right? Remember years ago, some of y'all may have forgotten, anything with two heads is a monster. Anything with two heads is a monster. Right? And so God is still showing us the importance of how he still communicates. So the Lord said to Moses, tell the Israelites to turn back and encamp near Hambroth, right? To encamp there between Migdol and the sea. So he's telling them where they're camped. God's still speaking to Moses. They are to camp by the sea, directly opposite of Baal Zebron. Pharaoh will think, here it is, Pharaoh will think the Israelites are wandering around in the land in confusion, hemmed in by the sea, by the desert. So God is still knowing he has a plan still for Pharaoh. Right? Because of Pharaoh's unwilling. We talked about that before. There was still something there, even though he let him go, right? And sometimes, guys, we have to talk ourselves out of stuff. I mean, when you and I get mad, I mean, sometimes we just, right? Sometimes if we don't do it, somebody got to talk us out of it, right? So Pharaoh, later on, we'll find out, he went through a process. But he says they're going to think that they're wandering, right? Pharaoh will think the Israelites are wandering around the land in confusion, hemmed in by the desert. And I will harden Pharaoh's heart. We talked about that previously. Pharaoh has already have something, right, in there that God is, God is just not taking a man with a pure heart, messing with him. Pharaoh already has issues. He will pursue them, but I will gain glory for myself through Pharaoh and all his army. And the Egyptians will know that I am the Lord, right? So the Israelites did this. So all of this was a setup. All of this was a setup. They're staged. They look like they're wandering. Pharaoh is like, hey, I may would have thought about all those plagues before I even moved. Right? But he's still kind of going through this. But yet, there was something in there for God to even stir up to get him going. But all of this was a part of judgment. All of this was a part of judgment, right? And so they will know that I am God. Okay, verse 5. When the king of Egypt was told that the people had fled, Pharaoh and his officials changed their minds about them and said, y'all got to hear, he changed his mind. Everything that happened to that man, and he changed his mind. What have we done? We have let the Israelites go and have lost their services, right? There's some thought that America is going to come to the same conclusion. What have we done? We working in places that we had never worked before, right? What have we done? We've led our services. So a lot of this was also about slavery, right? Of free labor, right? Of oppression, right? A lot of that is playing into this, right? People would, well, we fought a whole civil war behind, we don't believe people ought to be working for free, right? Brothers fought against brothers in that civil war, right? Because one side felt a certain way and another side felt this way. So people will do a whole lot if they feel like it will benefit them, right? So, and that was just dropped in my spirit because I'm wondering, like, man, is it worth it to go through all of that? But that reminded me of the Civil War, right? Brothers fighting against brothers because one side felt like we still want slavery and another side saying we don't, right? So when you look at that, they said we lost our services, right? So again, it's about oppression and about slavery, and again, these are God's people. Go ahead.
And Bishop, we have to realize that the Egyptians were probably entitled people. They didn't do any work.
Yeah.
The Israelites did them. So yeah, they lost their services, and they had to do it. Somebody had to do it.
Yeah.
They had to do it, and I think that's another reason why even the people say, go and get them back, because I don't want to pick no berries. I mean, they used to pick my berries for me,
Yeah.
So I guess I could say they were lazy, but they were entitled. They had gotten quite used to being taken care of.
But they're very intelligent, right? But as she was mentioning, go ahead, First Lady.
Go ahead, finish your thought.
No, very intelligent, right? But if you're at a point to where someone's doing something for you, it can get, and even us, right? Even us, pastors and bishops, and somebody got your door, somebody doing this, somebody doing that, right? And it could get people to the point where you feel like, well, can I get somebody to come and open this door? I'm gonna stand at this door until somebody come, right? And so, but again, it's a mindset more so. Yes, ma'am.
And the other thing to what Sister Mary Jo was saying is, the Egyptians had been, and many of them had been used to the blessings that God had given the Israelites.
Oh, good point.
Livestock, having many animals, having healthy animals. Everything that they touched was blessed.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so even when Joseph was over, the parliament or whatever it was, everything that he touched was blessed.
Yeah.
And so they now have to think for themselves and think, ooh, how do we keep this going?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they were standing on the shoulders of them who had already been blessed, and they were blessed. The Egyptians were blessed because of the Israelites.
So a lot of those things, right? You look at all of those, right? It's all of this stuff we mentioned, right? But here it is. It outweighed what they've been through. Whatever they came to that conclusion, they forgot all them plagues, all that pain, those funeral services, all of that, to get to that point to where they're gonna leave, right? So here we go. Next part. So he had his chariots made ready, took his army with him, and that chariot made ready. Royal treatment is the chariot is brought. He gets in the chariot, right? Someone drives the chariot, right? So when you have the king of Egypt, that's how they rode. You got someone that drives his chariot. He's in the chariot, but then he has his army with him, right? So now they forgot all of that. Who's going to do our services? So it's Terrence. And now they're headed after the Egyptians, right? I mean, they're headed after the Israelites. Okay? You got something? We good? Yeah. Yeah. It's It's really, it really amazes me, right? It amazes me that sometimes we can go through so much hurt, but yet we don't wake up. We don't snap out of it, right? You'll see people that literally about to die from addictions, and they won't snap out of it. And sometimes as family members, you say, you know, brother, sister, auntie, uncle, look at what you doing to yourself, but they don't see it, and so sometimes, right, before we're so critical on Pharaoh here, right, it's, you know, some of this stuff is strongholds, but whatever it was, got my chariot, he's in the chariot, they're riding to go and get them and bring them back, right? That's a small mindset. You just seen the hand of God, but yet you're going to try God again, right? Yes, used to being in control, right?
And he's still seeing the hand of God because they can see the cloud, they
Yeah.
can see the fire, but he doesn't care. He's still, I mean, you know, it's not like it's far from him.
Yeah.
All the plagues and everything, but yet you can still see this same cloud. That's why you can
Yeah.
follow them, because you know where they are.
Yeah.
So you see the clouds, you see the pillar of fire.
That's a good point, because they would think that they would be wandering around. But now, in case somebody want to say, well, maybe not yet, when they surely got a whole lot closer, you're gonna be able to see it for real close up, right? So he had his chariot made ready, took his army with him. Next part, he took 600 of his best chariots. Now, when the Bible gives those kind of descriptions, that's an indication that the Bible is trying to show us something. Because later on, we're going to hear about wheels falling off, right? So Sister Jackie, what God is messaging us through here is that it wasn't no regular chariots. It was his best chariots, because later on we're going to see how God deals with them, right? So he took 600 of his best chariots, along with all the other chariots of Egypt, with officers over all of them. So they all got officers. So you get all of this. They're ready to go. They got chariots. They're loaded up. Now they're getting ready to go and go into battle and get these Israelites and bring them back. So they're all ready to charge out. Okay? Next verse. The Lord hardened the heart of Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, so that he pursued. So his anger kept driving him, right? And that's dangerous when our anger keeps driving us. His anger kept driving him. He's in pursuit, who were marching out boldly, so that he pursued the Israelites who was marching out boldly, right? So all of this is tying together. He's pursuing them, but the Israelites are marching out boldly, right? And it looked like they're trapped. It looks like they're trapped. Okay? All right? Next verse. The Egyptians, all Pharaoh's horses and chariots, horsemen and troops, pursued the Israelites and overtook them as they camped by the sea near Pi-hahiroth, opposite Baal Zephon, right? So they caught up to him, right? It didn't take long when you traveling with a lot of people, right? But again, this wasn't no accident. God didn't take them through Philistine country. He took them through the desert way. He knew the Red Sea was going to encamp them. He knew that the army was coming. So let me go ahead and help some of us tonight. There's not a situation that you would get in that God don't know about. I don't care what it is. I don't care what it is. There's nothing that will come up in any of our life that God does not know about. Here it is. If I'm going through it, God knows about it. So that means if it's sickness, if it's death, if it's financial, if it's divorce, whatever it may be, God will give me strength to get through it. Right? So here it is. Don't lose your mind. Don't panic. I'm not saying what you're not going through is not something that will try you, right? It's going to test you. All I'm saying is that God doesn't have to call a meeting to talk about what's going on. He already knows. He already knows. So since he knows, here it is. God, give me strength. You know what I'm going through. Give me strength to walk this journey. Right? Give me strength to walk this journey. Right? Okay? I see you moved over. You got something?
I wonder why, why did God make him go the long way around
Yeah.
instead of the shortcut? See, that's where come trial and tribulations.
Yeah.
He's going to let them know they're going to go through some stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he just gave them the shortcut way.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll do it shorter.
Yeah.
They were just like,
Yeah.
this is easy.
Yeah. They weren't ready. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's why you go through them trials and tribulations. That's why it's all this stuff is happening.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to be easy.
Yeah.
And God is trying to make you do it right. Because like, if they let them know it's easy,
Yeah.
then they'll be trying to, hey, what we need,
Yeah.
we got it.
Yeah.
Then they'll start thinking, we got it.
So the testing, the journey, the testing builds character, builds endurance, perseverance, right? So I'll tell you this, there's different things that may come up in your life that you haven't experienced is going to be new, right? Even though it's new, it's still the same God. Even though there's a new trial that come up in your life, it's still the same God, right? So this is a new experience. They've been in Egypt, right? Some of them been slaves all their life, right? You think about it, right? They've been in Egypt. Joseph is gone, right? So these are descendants, right? They never left Egypt. All they know is Egypt. This is a whole new experience. So when people come to God, right, and they're excited, we need to be able to walk with them because they're going to go through some things they haven't experienced. And the first thing they're going to say is that, man, God is with me. Why am I going through this? Right? They're going to say, I done messed up. Shoes, I didn't know it was going to be like this. Right? So that's where seasoned saints will say, listen, right? God didn't promise us it would be easy. You remember that old songwriter that says, you don't have to move my mountain. Give me strength to climb. Right? So that's what we're able to help people because sometimes when we see it all the time. Boy, they come here, they'll join church, they're emotional. Boy, they get out of church, boy, they didn't be right by their car, like, bam. Right? And then they disappear. That's what we are discipling. We have to do a better job of discipling and say, hey, put our arms around them and walk with them because we know it's going to be things that come up just like this that they never seen. What they get ready to see, they ain't never experienced before. Right? They seen what God done. They're walking with God for the first time. Right? And here it is. We're finna see it. Verse 10. As Pharaoh approached, the Israelites looked up. Right? And there were the Egyptians. All of us, and here in my mind, I know Hollywood had messed us up with all those different things. But the look up was true because the scripture said they looked up, meaning they were kind of down, right? So the Hollywood picture of that was pretty accurate. When they came down through there to get to the Red Sea, where the Egyptians were at coming, they're up top, so you could see them. So now you look up. Don't you know, Sister Danielle, that would have caused some of us to lose our mind? You walking with God, and all of a sudden you hear this noise of all these chariots, the Egyptians coming, and you look up, and there they are, right? there, the Egyptians marching after them. They were terrified. Right? They were terrified, right? And I know some of y'all are super saints. I know some of y'all be like, oh, they should have just prayed and blessed God right there, right? Hey, that's great if you can do that, right? But when stuff hits you all of a sudden, right? I hope that we have the composure and say, God, give me peace right now, right? But sometimes stuff, it's almost like jumping out. It's like you're walking and all of a sudden somebody jump out, right? Blah. Right, catch you off the guard, right? They're walking, and all of a sudden, they look, and there they go. That freaked them out, right? So the Bible says they cried out to the Lord, right? So they're in a predicament. They got Pharaoh's army behind them. They got the Red Sea in front of them. God took them this way. Hear me now. God took them, Sister May, this way. God, Deaconess Faye, took them this way. Why am I stating that over and over again? Is that there are some things in your life that you're going to be in, and you're going to say, God, I thought this was what you told me to do. God, why is it that it seems as if? And the enemy going to tell you, you made a mistake. You shouldn't have done that. Maybe God didn't say that right. And in your prayer life, what God has said, and you have to trust God and stay the course. Don't abandon it. Don't give up. Stay the course. Right? Because one, I'm not leading myself. God led them that way. Sister Hazel, did I just say God led them that way? It's not on me to fight my battle. God don't call me and make me fight it. Why would God call you and make you fight your own battle? If he is Jehovah Jireh like he is, it's on God to provide for us. We belong to him. Would you go work for a company and bring your own tools and supplies and all this kind of stuff? Bring bags in the morning, you got trash to take out. Bring, you got to drive your own car. Come on now. You got to drive your own car. You got to do all this. You got to spend your own money, buy your own supplies and all that. Pretty soon you're going to be like, now, shoes. This company, it's like it's my company. That don't make no sense, does it? It don't make no sense for us to say God is our Lord and he's leading and guiding us. To think that God will call us and send us and don't supply our needs. So here it is. God sent them that way. Pharaoh are behind them. They look trapped. It looks like it's over. Right? People are screaming. People are crying out to God. It's chaotic. It's a panic. Horses, I just go all in. I can just see the horses up, legs all up, and you looking at all that, you're like, oh my God, right? What are we gonna do? There's good news. If God sent you on this road, God will make sure he handle whatever obstacle comes your way. There's nothing that's too big that God can't handle. There's nothing that you can get in that God can't pull you through. God sent him that way. Sister Major. Yeah. 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 Everybody need one of them friends just say, hush! Hush! Stop that noise. Pick yourself up. Go in there and take a bath. Take a bath. Brush your teeth. Get ready to get out of here. Right? Go by them friends and they just end up playing that old slow music. Just like, just lights all out. You ain't going to turn that light on. Girl, come on. Come on. Now, you know better than that. God ain't brought you this for to leave you. Now, girl, I don't feel. No, come on. Just put them in the car. Make them ride with you. Just ride with you. Just, So it's important because we'll get to this point, feel trapped, overwhelmed. All of a sudden, anxiety is hitting us, depression, all sorts of stuff is coming at us all at once. Caught us off guard. Guess who it didn't catch off guard? All right. Here we go. Verse 11. They said to Moses, remember God said, I didn't want them to go this way because they may change their mind? Remember that what the Bible said? Was it because, now this is what they said to Moses. Was it because there were no graves in Egypt that you brought us to the desert to die? You did. Was that your plan? Sometimes folks can say some ugly stuff to you. Is that what you was doing? You brought us out to die. You could have left us there to die. What have you done to us by bringing us out of Egypt? There it is. Even though it was oppressive, even though I went through pain, I'd rather have that than what I'm about to go through. Sometimes women are in an abusive situation. They're like, hey, you're like, hey, sis, come on, let me get you out of that, right? But instead of them saying there's too much uncertainty in front of them, and they don't know how their life is going to be, but they do understand what their life was like that, and some of them say, unfortunately, I'd rather deal with that, right? And so that's a mindset. That's a mindset of some. Okay, go ahead.
This was the first time since they left that the Israelites complained.
Yeah. Yes, it was the first time.
Complaining people, but this was the first time they blamed Moses.
Yeah.
Hey, look what you done to us.
Yeah. So did you bring us out to die? Let's get the next verse. Didn't we say to you? Didn't we say to you in Egypt, leave us alone? We're fine. Oh God. Leave us alone. Let us serve the Egyptians. We'd rather be slaves. Didn't we tell you? You came back with all that hope. Talking about we're going to do better. We deserve better. You came in there talking about, we're going to have a good life.
They said that, leave us alone, but why did they get God's attention in the first place?
Yeah, cried out.
Were they crying out?
Yeah, cried out. It would have been better for us to serve the Egyptians than to die in Egypt. You remember I told you who was before them? They had a cloud by day. That speaks to presence of God, right? They forgot about that, right? They forgot about that. Presence of God. Listen, I'm helping myself. I don't know about y'all tonight, but I'm helping myself. But because sometimes when we get a word, sometimes God just gets us ready for what we may go through. Gets us ready. Yes.
Also, I'm listening to this, and as they're complaining, it reminds me that we often ask God to help us or deliver us, or I can't wait to get through this, take me out of this, give me, if I just don't have to go through it anymore. But we never really know how he's going to bring us out of something.
Yeah.
And so we find ourselves complaining. You're like, oops, well, this isn't what I thought. So you'd rather go back to where you started from.
Yeah.
It never seems to be the way that we thought.
Absolutely.
And so that's where we have a problem at.
Absolutely. So listen, I'm gonna put a bow right there because this right here it helps me so much, and I'll tell you why. When I tell you leading as the under shepherd, God is the over shepherd. Leading as the under shepherd, there are times when congregations, there's things that the church go through that y'all may not even know of. And I told y'all before, when God opened the door for us to build this building, right? We were so excited. We were crossing in, but there was things going on behind the scenes that y'all knew nothing about. and I went through some of this part that the children of Israel are going through. Oh my God, what we gonna do? Oh Lord, it's getting tight. It's COVID coming up now. We just got a building, you know. And God said to me, listen, the problem is you are going through it by yourself, and you're not letting people know what I'm doing. They need to experience this Red Sea stuff, just like you experienced. So when I bring you out, they can all testify to what God has done. So then I stopped being so private about it and started saying, hey, everybody needs to see what God is about to do, right? And so this piece here, I don't want to even start it because it's so much meat in these next verses. I want y'all to go home and you come back with some stuff. You highlight you something. Come back because we're getting ready to see some things here. Those good chariots, that fire. We're going to see some things happen with all of those. The people, everything. God is going to speak to all of us in all of these situations that I hope that we can find ourselves growing in our faith, right? This is not so much about the Israelites. This is about how can we grow in our faith as we go, okay? Listen, want to just tell you guys, I wish we had Tailgate Sunday every Sunday. I'm so excited. I was talking with the guy about the jumpers last night, him and his wife. So we're going to have 2 jumpers. We're going to have a real big one with obstacle course, and we have another one, a ninja one. You know, so just in, you know, that big one, it has weight capacity that it can handle older folk as well. You could have got in there anyway. And but excited about that. Guys, what I'm most excited about is that we just spend time together. So please clear your calendar. You know, don't put nothing in the oven. You got to go home. We're gonna have some food, right? I know some of y'all, right? If you got to fix you something, just please, right? Just spend time there. We're gonna try to have the game on so we can watch the game, play some cards and dominoes. Just enjoy each other. Just enjoy each other. So looking forward to that. So listen, bring a friend with you, right? Bring a coworker with you. Bring your neighbor with you. And again, it's jersey or T-shirt Sunday. So please let's just have fun and be with family. This is the most, when we have days like this, just like on the 20th, I told that our committee that's doing the celebration for me and First Lady, I told them really the reason why I want to just do the banquet, I just wanted to have a time for everybody to come, all my friends and family to come in and celebrate and be ministered to, right? I'm texting Chester today, and his words back to me was, I'm going to do everything everything that's possible to make sure that's a special night for y'all. I mean, and that's so I'm excited about that. First Lady, I'm thinking about songs. Just to sing this one, I done sent him another song, you know. But that's why it's just celebrating, getting people together. That's that's special to my heart. To me, that's family, right? That's what this type of stuff means. So if I see you going to your car, I'm gonna call you out. I'm gonna tell you, so Jackie, right? Because I just want you to stay, okay? So listen, I know Sister Avery probably not called all y'all and already about what to bring. So I ain't got to worry about that. She probably done called all y'all twice. Yeah, probably done called y'all twice. Probably done said, bring some butter. You like some butter? What we need some butter for? But listen, bring those kiddos, grandbabies, bring them all out. Looking forward to having some fun, and so, but other than that, I think that's all we'll share tonight. If you have a gift that you want to leave tonight for God's house, please do so. We'll sow our seed tonight. Anytime we come to God's house, if you have a form of worship, we'll leave that too. Here's the ways that we can give. And so please do that. Again, thank you all for being here tonight. And so let's pray. Father, thank you for just showing us in your word that we will go through some things. And so, but God, we thank you again tonight for reminding us it will not catch you off guard. And so, God, we thank you that we may be surprised, but you're not. Give us the faith to trust you even when we can't see our way. So, God, I pray tonight that you will bless everyone that's here, that's on the side of my voice, even those online. We thank you for the spirit of unity that's in this house. I know, God, that I don't take that for granted. It's because of your presence. And so, God, I ask now that as we leave a seed for some of us that's able to, that you will multiply this seed, because I can't wait till you show us all what you continue to do in this place. We thank you in advance for your mercy and your grace. Keep us until we see each other again. It's in the precious, powerful name of Jesus Christ, we ask it all. Amen. Don't forget, Sunday school is at 9:30. Right? No more church orientation. Sunday school, 9:30. Right?